Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all enjoyed your weekends. We're back at it again with a little bit of mundane madness, so to speak. No, we're back at it again with a little bit more of tourist bus sim. Um, in this stream, I'm just going to be talking about the general state of where the game is at, really. We're also going to be doing a few shuttle services here and there, just have a general drive. Um, but yeah, like I say, without further ado, let's just get stuck in, shall we? So I've already accepted a shuttle service, so it's all nice, ready to go. Um, but yeah, like I say, I hope you're all doing well. It's been a little while since I've streamed. I do apologise for that. The weather has just been absolutely crazy here. Um, definitely not stream worthy anyway. I mean, it's just been unbearable to the point. Um, but yeah, let's just get stuck in. Let's just get stuck in. In this stream, I will be. I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it. Don't get me wrong. There are a few things which are shrouding this game, and a few things which have been, you know, brought to my attention, and obviously through my experience of actually playing this game so far, um, it's definitely not turned out the way that I originally expected it, um, in good and bad ways. Um, I think more or less to the point when it comes down to the game in general, the things which are obviously wrong with it. Um, we all know by now what is going on, and the things which are kind of preventing us from really enjoying the game for what it's supposed to be. Um, Regarding obviously the console versions of the game as well. There's been no news. I think the last update for consoles was just a little over 2 months ago. Um, Which, I mean, you can look at it in two ways. I mean, fair enough. These things do take time. These updates, getting them out and getting everyone up to speed and waiting for Microsoft and Sony to do their bit. I mean, I understand that it takes a little bit of time, but there's been no communication whatsoever. In fact, I've been looking at the TML Studios Twitter page. There's been nothing there to suggest that anything is coming soon, update wise. And it's not looking good, is it? It's not looking promising at all. How's it going, Amir, my friend? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, it's definitely got to a situation now, which I feared really. Um, Now, don't get me wrong, I still like the game, I still play the game, I still enjoy it. But I'm not going to disregard the fact that, you know, we, we've just been somewhat neglected. No matter which way you look at it, we're left with a bit of a shoddy situation, aren't we? Xbox still haven't received the luggage update. You know, I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just feels like a game of it's just a game of cat and mouse with the developers, really. We can't get anything from them. We can't get a straight answer, which really only tells us one thing only. Um, and yeah, just overall, the lack of communication, like we've discussed in previous streams before, it's a damn shame. It's a real shame. Now, I mean, for those that do enjoy playing this game, you know, the enthusiastic people that can kind of put these things to the side and just accept it for what it is, that's fair enough. But for the longevity of this game and the lack of communication, the lack of updates, um, it does become a bit. It is becoming stale for a lot of people. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love and enjoy streaming this game. I enjoy driving, more or less to the point. Just a few of the core elements which this game, you know, provides, produces. You know, it's not. I respect the fact that it's not going to be everybody's thing, but you know, it's just a repeat of what we've all experienced with previous games from, you know, the same publishers, developers, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's I mean, what was we expecting? Honestly, what was we expecting? You know, I mean, at least we're not battling the whole wheel support dilemma. You know, that thing, especially when it came to on the road, it was I don't know. How do you even word it? I mean, yes, fair enough. Xbox had a harder time than PlayStation when it came to wheel support. Um, but PlayStation, you know, we had wheel support and then they took it away and put it back. So, you know, what's worse? You know, how do you sort of like process that? You just can't, can you? It's, you know, and when it comes down to tourist bus, you know, we can see very very similar, um, you know, very similar things are popping up and appearing, very similar bugs and, you know, technical issues, which yes, we are all aware of, but I'm getting down to the nitty gritty side of it. You know, it's like there's been absolutely nothing, no communication. Now, I am aware that they are on holiday. Don't get me wrong, but let's be honest here. I feel that's just another excuse. No matter how much we enjoy this game, you know, it's getting to a point where things are getting just a little bit sour now. You know, it is a damn shame because, I mean, we'll go over the good points. You know, there are quite a few good points of this game. You know, the driving especially. I really like the driving element of it, and that's one thing which, you know, they really needed to get right. Now, on the PC side of things, we have a lot more settings in regards to, you know, your wheel support, your force feedback, all that stuff. Consoles, there's nothing there that's kind of like user friendly, sim friendly, you know, accessibility, um, for console users, and it absolutely blows my mind that we can have settings for one version of a game and then just completely strip it back bare bones, you know, non-existent. I don't think that it's really fair. Um, Now, console players, you know, especially for me, I play on the PS5 as well. You know, yes, we did get an update, but, you know, it's just, I don't understand why they do what they do. You know, I don't understand why they take the approach that they take. It's almost as if they are so used to getting their name sort of like, you know, shrouded and slandered and all that sort of stuff when it comes to their reputation. Um, and it's almost as if they just accept it for what it is. You know, they've got your money now, more or less to the point. You know, and I think that if there was a way of correcting that, and refund policies for consoles in general were a lot easier, I think that, you know, these developers that make these games would have a little bit more to fear, you know, because right now they're you know, they're in a little bit of a safe haven because of, you know, console refund policies, you know, and I think that really needs to be adjusted and corrected for situations like this, and not just like this, but for on the road and other games like the same as well. You know, it's definitely something which needs to be changed for gaming in general, because this can't keep happening. This can't keep happening. You know, okay. You know, we pay our with our hard-earned money to at least, or expect to be able to enjoy a game and it function the way that it's intended. You know, otherwise we're being, you know, sold an item falsely, aren't we? False advertisement, and I feel TML, Aerosoft, they both do a very good job with doing that. You know, and I think that people are definitely wising up to the fact now, which is good, but it doesn't change it for those that have already took the plunge. You know, change it for the people that have already bought it and have endured the bugs, the technical issues, the things which still reside within the game, which still haven't been addressed, they still haven't been fixed. You know, and it leaves me wondering, you know, where does this game go? You know, fair enough, there are a few game breaking issues, like your save data loss and all that sort of stuff. You know, that should be their #1 priority. You know, there's no ifs or buts with that. You know, that definitely needs to be sorted out. And you would have thought that we would have something, you know, about that now. You know, we would have expected like an instant sort of like hot fix. Something needs to be done about that. You know, as to whether they do that, you know, we're just over 2.5 months since the last update. You know, what do we do? Do you know what I mean? We persisted. We all persist with everything that we've done, everything that this game is about. You know, we've all persisted with it.
Salut. Puis-je rouler avec ce billet?
And it just feels like,
Merci beaucoup.
you know, we've been left in the dark.
Ist das Ticket hier gültig? Vielen Dank. Moin. Ist das Ticket hier gültig? Besten Dank.
You know, it feels,
Allô.
you know, like we've all been abandoned.
Merci bien.
You know, and that is the reality of it, unfortunately.
Merci.
Hello there. Is this ticket here correct? Thanks.
Yes, it's correct.
Salut. Ce billet est-il valide? Merci bien.
It's the only side I
Hallo.
don't actually
Ist
like
dieses
to
Ticket
this.
gültig?
Hello. Is the ticket here valid? Much appreciated.
Hi. Ist dieses Ticket hier richtig? Dankeschön.
Yes, it's valid.
Moin. Ist dieses Ticket gültig?
Moin. Könnten Sie bitte mein Ticket? Besten Dank.
Yeah.
Salut. Ce billet est-il valide?
Hi. Is this ticket valid? Thank you very much.
Hi. Is this ticket valid? Thanks.
Allô.
Couple more.
Puis-je embarquer avec ce billet?
Moin. Könnten Sie bitte mein Ticket kontrollieren?
Mahlzeit. Ist dieses Ticket hier gültig? Besten Dank.
Allô. Puis-je embarquer avec ce merci?
Right, that's all them sorted out. Brilliant. But yeah, I mean, into the whole context of what this game is really trying to achieve, they are really letting us down. They're letting the game down for what it is. You know, I mean, I own this on the PS5 and the PC. Now on the PC, it definitely runs a lot smoother, which is strange considering the PS5 version is actually a higher version than the actual PC version itself. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? You know, like what's going on? What's actually changed? And we don't actually we don't actually know. That's all it boils down to, really. When you get an update for this game, they never release patch notes or anything like that to actually let you know what's going on, or even what the update is supposed to include. Yeah, I mean, I can deal with that as long as we're getting the updates, but we're not. That's it. I mean, I think people, I think we've kind of been, left out to dry. Now, I'm awfully surprised because my theory was that we was going to get something by September. It being holidays and all that sort of stuff. I was expecting something to be said, but right, I'm actually stopping. Yeah. But they haven't. You can go on their Twitter page, Facebook page, all that sort of stuff. If you ask any questions, they're just, evasive. You don't get nothing from them. In regards to the console side of things, when it comes to the technical issues, I mean, the list really goes on, doesn't it? I mean, there's always a saying, you can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter, and that's exactly what they've done with this. I don't think they really care too much. Like I say, they've already got your money now. The game, you contact, say for instance, Sony for a refund, PlayStation. And they claim that they haven't received any reports on technical issues with this game, and it plays as intended. Now, I don't know what Sony are smoking, but you can go anywhere and look for a review for this game, and you always see the same things being said. Now, it's almost as if, they don't actually read those things. I mean, surely they must have a slight inkling as to what's going on. But I think it all boils down to one thing and one thing only. It's money. If they issue a refund, they lose money too. Yeah, that's right. That is right. Yeah, they don't have basic communication, and communication is absolutely everything, isn't it? It's absolutely everything. No matter what you do in life, communication is key, especially if you're trying to sell, a customer or a product. That's basic 101, isn't it? Good communication skills. But the difference is, this time round, is that they already have your money, so they don't have to convince to sell you anything, they've already persuaded you with the fake marketing and PR side of it, and Aerosoft are very good at doing that. They show you the best version, like for instance, this game on the road, things like that. They won't show you the console side of it. They'll show you a trailer featuring the PC running at maximum spec and all that sort of stuff to make the game look really, really good. And then when you load up your console and you're all excited, and you want to play it for the first time, and then you suddenly realise that it doesn't look the same as what they portrayed it to. Now, I'm not gonna, like I say, I'm not gonna bash the company too much, the publisher and the developer, because they do a few good things, especially, they do a few things right, should I say, and it's not just, their busing games and their trucking games, whatever other games they do, it's just like, it is such a shame. It's almost as if they're dangling the carrot in front of your face, and the moment that you almost touch it, everything goes wrong. And that's these games in a nutshell, really. They play really, really well. The moment that you get established and you start making money, you know, and you've bought your buses and you've gone round and collected everything and all the points of interest and everything like that, and then you're greeted with an error code which removes your saved data. You know, that in itself is enough to dishearten anybody from trying to attempt to play the game again. Now, I've had 3 file saves corrupt on the PlayStation side of things. I haven't experienced anything on the PC side of things. In fact, the PC side of things, when it comes to this game, I've had no technical issues at all. No save data corruptions, anything like that. Touch wood. And I'm actually able to progress as really intended, and it makes you wonder, you know, how they've gone from it working to, obviously something was lost in translation through the console port, you know, and they've just stripped it down to bare bones just so it at least functions on console. And then they've just slapped a £25 price tag on it and sent you on your way by the look of it. Yeah, this game is good, but in small doses, and obviously when it works. Now, I have the luxury of obviously playing it on the PS5 and on PC, and I appreciate the fact that not everybody has that luxury, you know, but I kind of bought it on the PC just so that I could test it, you know, to see whether it was any different, and obviously it is. It's gonna be, you know, there's, you know, I don't have to sugarcoat that one, but it's not right. It's really not right, you know. I would expect a bus simulator to at least do what a simulator should do, and so far it has not done that. You know, we all know that it has not done that. We still play it, but that's like in the hopes of, you know, something being done, something being fixed. But I think we're kidding ourselves a little bit. I think we're giving them a little bit too much slack, you know. I think everybody needs to come down on these on the publisher and the developer a little bit harder, I think. Because the way that we're being treated right now, it's not right. And if it was anything else in the world and it wasn't right, you know, we complain or get a replacement or send it back and get a refund, don't we? You know, that's the basics of it. But when it comes to gaming, we don't get that luxury unless you fall into the parameters of you know, what is it, their 14-day refund policy, you know, and then you've got to have a genuine reason as to why you don't want the game, or, you know, you've got to explain why you want the refund. Well, why should you have to explain? You've paid for it. If you don't like it, you should have our money back, you know. You go to a restaurant and order a meal. If it's not right, you send it back, and they're okay with that. So the gaming industry, it definitely needs to be kicked up the ass, in my opinion. You can't keep expecting people to pay, you know, for games that just shouldn't even be sold. On the Road is one of them. Despite the fact that I had many hours in that game, you know, it's you know, fair enough. If it was a demo, you know, or a beta, you know, then you can't argue it, can you? But it's not. It's sold as a fully licensed product, isn't it? You know, like what you're supposed to do. How's it going, Stu? Yeah, no, it'd be nice get a refund on your gas bills, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, like I say, all in all, if nothing comes of this by September, we're gonna have a big issue on our hands, I think. But this is what I mean. I don't think that they actually care. I don't think they're really bothered at the moment. Like, if they was, they would have done something by now. You know, we would have the updates and we would have all the communication we ever want, you know. And it's just not there. That's apparent, you know. The attitude is clearly visible. You know, despite how much we like playing these games and the enjoyment that we get out of them, I think for what it is, we just have to accept it for what it is, you know. Yeah, that's all it boils down to. It's disappointing and it does make me angry. You know, and you've been in the right mind to contact them again and again and again, and it just doesn't do anything, does it? They're not interested. They got our money now. They're laughing at us. You know, the updates. Ugh, dear. I mean, what would the next update even include? Because the last update that PS5 had was for the luggage, and I spent a considerable amount of time trying to figure out what they had actually changed, and it was literally nothing. It was just the luggage. You know, here you go. We fixed the luggage issue for you. Nothing else. Be on your way. Just like a giant middle finger to us all, isn't it? Wish that wasn't the case, but you know, I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke up anybody's ass. You know, I say it how it is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for anybody. You know, it's like, would I recommend this game? Well, if you can accept the fact that there's bugs, there's no communication from the developer, you know, and the lack of updates are just, you know, you got more chance of winning the lottery. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. Get me wrong, it's sad, and it's a sad excuse. God, this thing's a bit thirsty. Nicely done. But yeah, even in regards to the general attitude of this company, you know, we look at their, you know, you've only got to look at their DLC prices to really understand what I'm talking about. You know, it's daylight robbery. How can they justify charging people that much for what you get? It's disgusting. You know, it's like they dilute their games to a point of where they have to, well, it's not so much they have to, they choose to take, say for instance, they add 20 buses. Yeah, they give us 5, and then expect you to pay £20, €20, whatever your standard rate is, you know, for the other 10, but you get 5 in each pack. I just don't get that. I wish that they'd open this game up a little bit more to the modding community, you know, because I can guarantee you, if they was to do that, the modding community would make this game and games like this 1,000 times better. Now it doesn't, you know, I guess the console side of things would miss out in that department, you know, so it's a bit of a 50-50 thing. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we've got to, they've got to do something, haven't they? They've got to do it. Yeah, that's right, Stu. That's right. Yeah, they. I mean, it's just a common trend, isn't it? Everywhere you go, anything that you do, anything that you buy, there's always a catch. I'm going to take the bus down to the respray place, and we'll add a new paint job to it, because I really don't like the orange. It would also be nice to have a list of what wheels work and what wheels don't. Because I've heard a lot of things relating to thrustmasters not working properly for these games. I'd be pretty annoyed if I spent, you know, £300-400 on a steering wheel for it not to work. I mean, that's just a kick in the teeth, isn't it, really? Yeah, like I say, anything that comes up about this game, I will be covering, I can promise you that. Even though that, like I say, even though that the bugs are apparent, you know, and we're all a bit tired and fed up a bit, you know, I get that. But I'll still be covering it as best as I can, you know. Yeah, exactly. You're right there. It was an opportunity for them. But that's just console ports in a nutshell, isn't it? It's the only reason why they do it. It's just a quick little profit. You know, we all knew deep down that this game was gonna have its issues. You know, anybody that buys this game and expects it to be flawless, I'd recommend just saving your money. If that's you know, if that's your approach anyway. Screw it, we'll go for red. It'll just clean it up a bit. It's sad. It's a sad case, isn't it? It's a sad case. Where it goes, or what they do with it, and I'm not speaking in terms of their, you know, their updates with the technical fixes and stuff. I'm more interested in after that. You know, where does the game go? What do they do? Do you know what I mean? It's like, for the DLCs, are they going to charge people? More than likely. What are they even going to include in their DLCs in the future? You know, nobody really knows, because there's only so much that they can actually you know, give us for a busing simulator anyway. You know, despite the, you know, potentially more buses and, you know, and more routes here and there. You know, it definitely needs to be addressed, though, doesn't it? Right, let's have a look. Yeah, we'll do that one. Screw it. It does this every time. Just double clicks the order. I'm not too sure why it does it. We are there. Amazing stuff. But it is a real shame, isn't it? You know, like, it's just the general attitude of everything that they do. It's just, you know, how hard, honestly, is it just to put out I don't know, a 2-minute sort of post or video which explains to everybody what's going on, or where they are, what they're doing with the game. It's just, it absolutely baffles me that they can't provide the basics of information just to kind of retain their customers. Now, like I said before, they've already got your money, so they don't have to. You know, that's it in a nutshell, really. They just don't have to. The general effort, there's no passion there at all. You know, you wait for something decent to come out to consoles. You know, as to when that happens, who knows? Who knows? We you know, everyone's been asking that since the beginning of time, really, haven't they? Right, we'll stop there a moment. Yeah, that's it, Stu. It's no different than like Elite Dangerous as well. That's something that happened to them. The problem is that they promise us all these things, but they never fulfill these promises, do they? And that's it. You kind of just, once you get your hands burnt a couple of times, that's it. But anybody that buys these buys the DLCs for these games, I mean, €20, £20, whatever, for buses. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. If you're an enthusiastic person for this game, you absolutely love it, and you know there's nothing wrong with it, blah blah blah, then fair enough. I can't, we can't govern what people spend their money on, can we? But I mean, it's daylight robbery. Because I would be interested to know what they actually, like, what is the minimum requirement for a game to be able to go onto a console store and be sold. I know that they give them, the developers, they give them dev kits, and there's like basic minimum requirements in those dev kits to be able to kind of, be processed. But as to what those requirements entail, be very interested to know. Because this developer and publisher, they always like to say, oh, it's out of our hands, it's in Sony or Microsoft's hands, there's nothing we can do about it, waiting for an update. Yeah, my ass. Tell you what, they think that we're stupid. They really do. They think that we're stupid. And then when they get a giant uproar, from us lot, telling them what's wrong with the game, oh, it's alright, it'll be done in the next update, don't worry about it. And then you've got half the people that choose to believe it, and then you've got half the people which, you just know, don't you? Even though you tell yourself, oh, it'd be nice, you live in the hope. But I wouldn't bother. By the time this game is updated and fixed, even if it is updated and fixed, anybody that's stuck around for the longevity of the game in the hopes of it being fixed will probably move on to bigger and better things. You know, I mean, we've got Alaskan Truck Sim. I think that's coming out on the 7th of December. I know that's for PC only at that point, but at least you know, if that does well, we've got something to look forward to on the console side of things anyway. But it's got a very, very high expectation level, especially when it comes down to us console players, you know, because we want these things. You know, we want a good game, we want a decent trucking game to be able to use, you know, our wheels and be able to progress through it without losing any data. You know, it's such basic. It's not really much to ask for, is it? Let's be honest. You know, I would like to play my game that I paid my money for, you know, without it blowing up on me. Is that too much to ask? Well, do you know what? We'll get back to you in, you know, let's say just over a year. See where it goes. But in the meantime, you just sit tight. You sit tight. You enjoy your busing game with all of its bugs, and we'll enjoy your money whilst we're all on holiday. Yeah, sweet. Oh, is it true? That's not too bad then. 4 or 5 years ain't too bad, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, even they even promise these things and they don't keep the promise. You know, just straight up left and abandoned it. You know, this is what I respect for the Xbox Games Pass, because at least if you don't enjoy it, you haven't paid full whack for it. You know, you get it's almost like a demo library, but for a full game. You know, it's actually quite decent. You can play all your games that you want, and even test games out that you think you might like. You know, and I think if Tourist Bus was part of the Games Pass, you know, sales would plummet. How's it going? Got the munchies? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Got the munchies. Honestly, I think a lot of people are done with the publisher. Their focus is clearly elsewhere. You know, they've been advertising their newest or upcoming games. You know, it's just a cash grab, in it. It's just a giant ploy. Anybody that plays these games knows what they're like. But yet here we are. We still continue to buy them. In the hopes that they're fixed. And no, I mean, you think about it, on the road, yeah, if they had used the Unreal Engine for on the road, I think it would have been a little bit better than what it is. But it comes with its issues. You know, it's actually crazy the amount of people that buy this game and are like none the wiser. Like they literally know nothing about the game at all. They've come in and bought it, and then they're slowly figuring out over time the issues by reading, you know, Facebook posts and the Twitter posts and all that sort of stuff. You know, they're learning after the fact. And the one thing which I would advise people to do is just to do your due diligence. You know, read into these things, look it up, watch your reviews and the current state of these games before you spend your money on it. Now, to some of you, that would be a pretty common, you know, common sense, a pretty common thing to do, you know, to read up on these things before you buy. but they market it in such a way that it's more focused towards the younger generations, you know, that look at these games and go, oh look, I want to drive a bus, that looks cool. Yeah, and they spend their birthday money on or whatever money on, you know, this game to find out that it's well, we won't go there. I can think of a few things to call it. Yeah, exactly. Got the munchies. Exactly. It's just a blame game. That's all it is. It's just a blame game. You know, they don't want to deal with any altercations or any interactions with their consumers. They're more interested in grabbing your money. The moment they've got that, that's fine. They don't have to. They don't have to listen to anybody. They don't. They've got. They take such a high ground with everything that they do. You know that when it comes down to it, they can't actually answer anything that you ask. Yeah, it's like, is there an update coming out before or shortly after September? A simple yes or no would be suffice, wouldn't it? But the fact that they can't do that because their focus is elsewhere, probably, you know, for the bus and all that sort of stuff, you know, they're probably hard at work with that. But even so, I think this developer, I think that they made the wrong move, you know, and the publishers, they made the wrong move with coming over to consoles. I think they should have just strictly stuck with PC development. Now I know a lot of you would probably disagree with me on that, but what I'm saying is like for the current states of these games and the way that they're handled, you know, it would save a lot of headache if they just stuck with developing on PC, just for PC only. Yeah, that's a trouble, Stu, isn't it? That's the trouble. The people like the head honchos of these companies, right? It's like the I can't remember what it is, but he was
Please check my ticket.
he did Sedesco time
¿Qué hay? Puedo viajar con este billete, gracias.
for truck driver,
¿Está bien mi billete?
and he's recently just stepped down
Ce
to
billet
go
est-il
elsewhere.
valide?
But I think that was in preparation of all the backlash which that
Merci
game is going to
de
receive
vérifier
soon.
le billet. Merci beaucoup.
Oh, wrong passenger.
Is this ticket
It's
here
that one,
valid?
isn't it?
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Oh, I need to focus. I need to focus. Right, let's have a look. Where are we? Shuttle service. Hotel Ocean Dream. Okay.
¿Qué hay? ¿Es este
That's
mi
the one.
autobús? Muchas gracias.
Hello there. Is the ticket here? Thanks.
But I mean, the more we kid ourselves, you know, especially when it comes to these sorts of developers, you know, I mean,
Is this ticket valid?
when it comes to people sending, you know, death threats to,
Il roulait avec ce
you know, the development teams and stuff, that's when it gets a little bit too silly.
Puedo subir
But I
con este
mean,
bien, gracias.
When you purchase a game, you have,
Puedo viajar con
you
este
know, you're
billete?
entitled to your opinion, you know.
Allô. Ce
But
billet
they're
est-il
just not
valide?
interested in what we've got to say.
Ce billet est-il
You vote with your wallet at the end of the day.
Ist dieses Ticket hier? Besten Dank. Hallo. Ist dieses Ticket hier richtig? Danke.
Yeah, got the munchies. That's the one.
Hello.
That's the one.
Is the ticket here valid?
Mahlzeit.
Their
Ist
excuse
dieses
was
Ticket
is that
gültig?
they
Dankeschön.
they basically bought the
Puedo
game
subir
from
con
another
este billete.
developer
Muchas
and
gracias.
weren't
Hello.
able to
Can I ride with this
sift
ticket?
through their
Thanks a lot.
coding, so they tried to build a game on top of a game
Hi.
which they didn't
Ist
really know
dieses
how to
Ticket gültig?
develop,
Danke.
Hi there. Is
which,
the ticket here valid?
to my suspicion, I think that the
Hello
reason
there.
why that
Is the ticket
DLC
here
is
valid?
taking so long to
Thank you
be
very much.
produced is because I think they're trying to
Right.
actually make their
Puedo
own
viajar con este
variation of the
billete.
game. I think they're
Muchas
trying to
gracias.
build it from the ground
Sí.
up again without
Está bien mi
telling
billete,
anybody.
gracias.
Allô? Puis-je embarquer avec merci?
Hey,
All the
¿es
signs
este
are
mi
there.
auto? 1.000.000 de gracias.
¿Qué
You
hay?
just got to look, ain't you?
Puedo subir con este. Gracias.
Moin. Ist dieses Ticket gültig? Dankeschön.
Hola. ¿Podrías por favor revisar?
Hiya. Could you please check my ticket? Thank you very much.
Mucho gusto. Puedo subir
These
con
voices.
este. 1.000.000 de gracias.
Hi. Could you please check my ticket?
Sounds like Google Translate, doesn't he?
Much appreciated.
Hi. Is this ticket here valid? Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi. Darf ich mit diesem Ticket fahren?
Nope.
Mucho gusto. Puedo subir con 1.000.000 de gracias.
I think that's everybody. Bar like one passenger, which I...
Hi. Is this ticket here correct? Thank you very much.
Okay, there we go. Up and away. But yeah, I think you all know what I mean when it comes down to this game. No matter how much we try and you know deny what's going on, you know it's got to a point, hasn't it? It's got to a point. And it's not to say that like I say, I will continue to play it and I will continue to cover it, you know, just for the sake of it, you know, because, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's a few people out there that are still interested in watching this and, you know, listening and learning about it, you know, it's fair enough. But I don't know. I just hope that my suspicions are correct and they do bring out an update relatively soon, before September, I'd hope. It can't be difficult, can it? Surely. Well, obviously it's appearing that way, but exactly got the munchies. I mean, to be fair, SnowRunner, you just can't pick fault with that game. You know, I mean, obviously there's a few things in that game which we would like, but I mean, they knew that they had something good, and instead of dumbing it down and stripping it back and, you know, doing all the unnecessary bits and pieces which developers like this do, they actually improved upon it. You know, and it's very rare to hear, you know, gaming companies actually doing that sort of stuff. I don't see like cosmetics, skins, all of that sort of stuff as DLC. You know, I don't see that as like a game enhancement. You know, at the end of the day, if you're driving a bus on an island that looks like crap, but your bus looks really good, it just don't fit into place, does it? Oh yeah, Destiny, Stu. Yeah, that was a bad one. That was a bad one. I mean, but like, I give props to I give props to games like No Man's Sky. You know, when that game first came out, oh my goodness, the backlash from that. You know, and then they've actually listened, and they've worked, and they've done what they can, and it is actually a pretty decent game now. It's a shame that it's taken as long as it did, but at least you knew from that developer that, you know, something would be done about it. All these little niche sort of like indie titles, you know, they're doing much better than all of the AAA games which are out at the moment. But of course, that's just my opinion, you know. You know, I really like the indie games. I've been playing a lot of Days Gone at the moment, actually. Getting back into that, that's an awesome game. I'd recommend it to anybody that likes zombies. It's a good game. But with this company, this publisher, Aerosoft, TML, the developers, all that sort of stuff, where do you draw the line? Essentially, that's what it comes down to. Where do you draw the line? Now, you know, I played like On the Road, you know, and I thought it was okay for what it was at the time. But then when you jump into something like ATS or ETS, you know, there's no comparison. You know, and I think where our expectations are so high as console players, because we want a good trucking simulator. You know, how hard is that for these gaming companies to understand? You know, I appreciate that these things take money and time, but it's not like they're waltzing around with pocket change, is it? You know, the multi-billion-dollar companies, you know, and they can't even fathom like just the basic requirements that people want for the basics of a game to function properly. I just don't understand it. You know, you watch next month we'll have a battle pass for Tourist Bus. You know what I mean? Like that's, or a battle royale for it. You know. They what they need to do is they need to partner up with another developer which knows what they're doing to try and iron out their games. But yet again, money, and that's the reason why they don't do it. It's not about the customer base, it's not about passion in the games that they produce, it's all down to, you know, money. And I do feel for the people that work in these development teams, you know, that actually do have a passion for these sorts of things and do try and make these games good, but are restricted because, you know, the top dog, the top man in the company doesn't like it or doesn't want it. You know, it's just, let's see if we can just get this game working to a point of where it's somewhat acceptable, and then just charge people for it. It's the biggest con going, and it needs to stop. I mean, if I was ripping people off left, right and centre, you know, and blowing smoke up their ass and making false promises all the time, yeah, I wouldn't mind being, you know, sitting on a yacht in the middle of some, you know, you see what I'm saying, like. Yeah, that's it, got the munchies. Paywalls. Yeah, controls for No Man's Sky aren't too bad. I mean, like I say, you throw enough time at anything, you'll get the hang of it, man. My problem is that I play so many simulation games. I've got so many key bindings for they're all different games, that I have to sit there and play it for a little bit just to like get myself familiar with the controls again. But I appreciate you all coming in anyway. Like I say, if you do like this sort of content, please like and subscribe. I cover a lot of games, a lot of simulation games anyway, and I try and keep you all updated as best as I can with the current states of things and whether there's going to be any updates. So yeah, but I appreciate all the new subscribers anyway. It's good to see a few fresh names. I don't know what's going on here. Have I taken the wrong route or what? I'll just stick to this road. Okay. That's another thing that really annoys me as well, is the GPS, the sat nav route. You know, it can be very confusing sometimes, especially with the overlay, like overlapping. You know, they should have used two different colours. You know, it's like one way one colour and returning another colour, so you know which ones are which. Oh yeah. Yeah, Ark isn't a bad game. I think my problem when I first played Ark was that I went straight into a modded server and I got a little bit of a false representation of what the game was really about. I didn't understand a single thing, and it just got burnt out very quickly. It was a tiny bit overwhelming. I don't know why they stop there. I've began to just stop for them, because even though they're stopping there waiting for you, look, he's done it again, look. And then the moment I go, he takes off. It reminds me of when you're playing like something like GTA, you know, when you're transporting precious cargo or something, all the AI traffic seems to just crash into you. You know, I got a similar feeling. But we will be back later on with a little bit of Euro Truck. I've got to finish the haul which I started last week, I think it was. But now that it's cooler temperatures, you know, there'll be a few more streams, a few more frequent streams. You know, so it's nice to have you guys stick around. I've missed it. I've missed coming in here and chatting with you guys. Like I say, I would have been doing it earlier on in the week, but the weather has just been stupid. There's been no point. What a weird place to stop. Now they finally decided to get up. No, Stu, we're still waiting for that. Still waiting for that. I can't wait for it to come, honestly. Just to clear all this humidity and everything out of the way. amazing stuff. Wait for it to give me my XP. Let's go back to the office. Wait for it to load up. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, it isn't too bad. It isn't too bad of a game. You just got to really accept it for what it is at this precise moment in time. You know, we can't fixate too much on everything that's going on right now. There's obviously better games to play. There's obviously other things to do. And if you don't like the current state of the game, then that's what I'd recommend doing until it's fixed. Really, you know, there's a lot out there to choose from, you know, and at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know. Yeah, I refrain from turning anything on really, Stu, when the weather's like that. You know, it's just not worth it. You know, it's just not worth it. But yeah, guys, like I say, I appreciate you all coming in, spending your Monday mornings here. We will be back a little bit later on with a little bit of Euro Truck. So if you do like that sort of thing, like and subscribe, and yeah, turn that bell notification on. That way you don't miss upcoming content and all that good stuff. But like I say, I appreciate you all coming in. I'm going to wrap it up for today. But until next time, guys, like I say, take it easy, stay safe, and I shall catch you all